Hi and hello, Bobcasters. Welcome to the show. Recording this as Sunday turns into Monday on the 17th, 12:04 p.m. here on the East Coast, 12:04 a.m. here on the East Coast. In game, it is 7-1, and so halfway point in the season. Let's take a look at where the Baltimore Orioles lie and what's going on in Baltimore. So, not just in Baltimore talking, go away. So we'll start with, obviously, I've made a bunch of trades this season. Heading into the season, the goal for the Orioles was to finish at 500. Around 500, but obviously better would be better, worse would be worse, but around 500. And as of now, we're doing pretty well towards that goal. We started the season 0-7. Since then, we've been playing 4 games above 500 ball. Right now, we're sitting 3 games under at 39 and 42. Our run differential is pretty good. We're giving up 17 more runs than we're scoring. We're giving up 17. We're giving up 17 more than we're scoring. Yeah, that's right. So we're 17 minus. Our pitching has been great, incredible. I'll get into why I think that is, but we're 7th in runs allowed, 3rd in ERA, so our defense has been sucking. And we're really surprisingly not scoring. We're 26th in runs scored, so we're at the bottom of the league. So that's not good. We'll go through it bit by bit. To start with, the pitching. Pitching's been great. I have my rotation locked, for the future, barring injuries. This is the guys I go to. Zach Britton got a bump this season, heading into the season. Knock on wood for the good. Although he's out right now, he has been my ace, my rock. Britton, only 25 years old, is only 5-5, but he's pitching to a 2.35 ERA in 84.1 innings. A whip of 1.25. That's a little high, but he's still developing, and ratings over 80 each one. That's pretty goddamn good. I will take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He's my number 1. My number 2 is, let's say, Pedro Alvarado, the guy who I believe is going to win Rookie of the Year. Pitching to a 3.38 ERA. He's 7-5 with 2 saves. Started off badly. I moved to the pen. I moved him back to rotation. He's my number 2. Number 3 is the guy I brought in from St. Louis, Jaime Garcia. And I ended up getting after the Adam Dunn trade. It's interesting because I thought I crushed in that trade. I annihilated it. I was so happy with that trade. Pretty much got Jaime Garcia, a really good young 26-year-old starter for free for very little, and always felt good about the trade. Then I go just check up on the guys. The guy I dealt for him, Randy Henry. Guy's an ace. So not only did I do well, I ended up losing on that deal, as it turns out, which sucks. But that's what happens. I love the deal at the time. Don't like it now, but I'm still happy. Jaime Garcia, 3.60 ERA, 1.22 whip, 10-8. So I wish that was a little better, but we're not scoring enough runs for any of my guys, so that makes sense. Number 4 starter is Brian Mattis. Mattis, who was, when I took over the team, was hoping to be my ace of the future, has really been bad for me. All 3 years this season, same also. He's pitching a 4.88 ERA with a whip of 1.44, which is terrible. Not good. 4-9 going through his midseason, lose 12 straight games in a row that he seems to do every year. I might actually end up bringing another pitcher and making Mattis my closer of the future, even though he has a great endurance, but maybe his 177-72 ratings translate better as a reliever. He'd be a stud closer, but obviously I'd like to keep him as my starter, as a good starter, but the good is the key to that, and he's not pitching well, so that's no good. That's the rotation. The bullpen's been pretty much studly and weird because I made trades, brought in Axford, Wilkie, Acosta, and rolling with some other guys I had, Burke and Egan, Leroux. So the two, according to the ratings, I'm really a ratings guy. The 2 best relievers, the guys who should be the best, are Axford and Birkin, and they are the 2 worst relievers for me. Axford, Axeman, since I brought him in, has been absolutely terrible. In January, March, April, May. In June, because now we're heading into July, he pitched to a 9 ERA in 16 innings. That's freaking terrible. Birkin hasn't been much better. He's now my mop-up guy. And the guys without the ratings, the guys who are only ratings-wise but have been pitching well. Leroux, who's been awesome for me both years I had him, from 1.99 ERA, 4.0 with 1 save. Acosta, who I picked up off waivers from the Mets, 3.24. Pitching well. My closer, Josh Wilkie, had a little burp this sim, but still, my closer, 3.63 ERA, 1-2 with 13 saves, only blown 1 save in 14 opportunities. It's pretty freaking good. My bullpen's been really good. I don't know what to do with Axford. I'm debating trading him. Got some good offers for him. Maybe try to work on a deal with either Pittsburgh or Chicago, National League Chicago, so the Cubbies. Or maybe he just wants to. Maybe he'll be better if he closes. I mean, I've been using him in middle relief, and he's not been good in it. So maybe if I make him a closer, he'll be better. But I don't want to rock the boat since Wilkie's been pitching well. That's pretty much it for pitching. The reason I thought my pitching would be really good is because the fielders. I put in like great field. I thought my team would be one of the best defensively. Out of maybe the best defense team would make my pitchers that much better. And it's weird. I have the second most errors in all of baseball and a not good fielding percentage, but I feel like my team is doing really well defensively because my guys great range, and that's obviously I'd like them to have a high percentage of actually once they get to the ball to catch it, but the range is incredible. My outfield of the future, the outfield of now, although they're not hitting at all, is made up of Michael Carter, my left fielder, who's only 19 years old. He has a 7 range and a 980 fielding percentage in left field. My center fielder, Donovan Tate, 10 range, 972 in center. Brandon Webb in right field has a 10 range and 971. So out of a possible 30 in range in my outfield, I have 27. So if you hit a ball in the air, it's a good chance one of my guys will get to it. They might not catch it once they get there. They might bounce off their head or something, but they will get to the ball, and that is really good. Hopefully, his field strategy gets better, but I really like the fact that my guys are getting the balls, and so even though we have a lot of errors, I believe that we're probably saving more runs than we're losing. So that's good. Now, hitting is a completely different story. At this point, we'll address the trade I just made tonight, where I traded Joey Votto, guy I brought in 2 sims ago, the 1B, my first baseman who I figured would be for the future, really to tie the lineup together, especially until Murray actually ends up developing, if he ever does, knock on wood again. I traded Votto, I got in return for him Jesus Montero, and the entire draft from the Yankees. Now, why'd I do this? Their contact, Votto has a little bit better contact, a little bit worse gap, a little bit worse power, but much better eye, and White Case is average. So for a little better average and a lot better eye, that's what Votto has. At the same time, though, he's 29 years old. Montero's 23 years old, and I plan on winning for a bunch of years, and my whole team's young. That would have been the old man. I'd much rather go forward with a 23-year-old, even though I'm giving up a little bit in he won't walk anywhere near as much. He's not going to have the highest as high an on base. Same time, again, 6 more years, 23-year-old to pull the 29-year-old. He's instead of making 10.66, instead of making 10.5 million, which Vato is, Montero's making arbitration. So hopefully, I end up signing him when he actually gets the free agency before he gets free agency, but. I like this trade. Along with it, I got New York's all their first 2 5th-round picks. The first round's top 4 protected, but hopefully I'll finish 5th overall pick and I can keep it. Overall, what I gave up for Vato, would I make that same trade for Montero? Honestly, probably yes. And also, I got Montero, plus I got a first-round pick that I think will probably end up being around 15. I don't know. Yankees have they've dug themselves a bit of a hole, so they'll probably end up in the middle. That's better than what SS picked. I had Mike's pick before, and so that one wasn't as good. So now that one wouldn't be as good. So I moved up a little bit in the draft, and I got a 6 years younger player. So that should help. At the same time, though, how the heck do I fit Montero into the lineup? Montero is playing DH for Rob. He's originally a catcher, but like in real life, they don't really believe he can catch. So Rob taught him third base, although he's a really bad third baseman. I'm going to spend points though to make him an average third baseman. I believe by next season he'll be like a 5 range, 950 fielder with like a 6 or so arm. It's not bad. For what he hits, I plan on him being more like a Mark Reynolds type. That he won't be that good a fielder. But he'll definitely make up for that in hitting. So Montero's the third baseman. Sliding that in there is great, especially because I'm kind of backed up at catcher position with, of course, the team captain, the golden boy, Matt Wieters. Even though Wieters is injured out for the full season, but I spent the points on him. He'll be back in 6 weeks. I also have a backup catcher, Jasper Geisler, who I might trade, but right now he's stepping in the starting role, 23 years old. Pretty good rating. So Geisler, also good. We're going to use him for now until he comes back. But, I wouldn't really have room for Montero as a catcher, so I'm going to try and make him a decent third baseman. Or I could always let Teacher to play first base and I'll just slide into where Vato was. So it's such that my hitting has been terrible. We're 25th in batting average, hitting a 252 as a team, which is horrible. 29th most home runs, only have 48 home runs. Joey Bat probably has more than I do already, so that's not good. We're 7th in walks, which is something that I care about. My team's going to walk a lot, and we scored 26 most runs, which is terrible. Main culprits in this is my outfield. The 3 young outfielders, 23 years old, 19 years old, and 20 years old, they are hitting terribly. Brendan Webb, who I want to be my leadoff hitter in the future and even try now, is hitting 215 with a 305 on base, which is horrible. Michael Carter, my left fielder, is hitting 238 with a 303 on base, which is beyond horrible. And Donovan Tate in the 2 Simpsons in the 18 games he's played, has been up, he's hitting 180 with a 270 on base. And none of these guys is slugging anything either. So, as a whole, my outfield has been brutal. And so I need them to pick it up. And yet, with my outfield being brutal, my shortstop, Meister Turst, besides losing a fight in a bar, hitting 240. My third baseman, Mike Bell, hitting 250. And all these guys have pretty much zilch on home runs. With all that going on, we're 4 games under 500. So 3 games under 500. Excuse me, 39-42. So things are kind of looking up in Baltimore. We are on our way towards our goal of finishing around 500 this year and then competing next season. A lot of that might depend on how much help we get from the minor leagues. Like center fielder Scherrer, the big boy Harry Murray at shortstop. Maybe Babe Ruth will decide to maybe hit at single A at least. But I like where things are in Baltimore right now. We're still looking to make some more trades. Right now we have 2 first-round draft picks. Might bump that up. I have a deal in place. I can maybe move that up to 4 first-round draft picks in the coming draft. Or what I'd like to do is trade all the picks, and maybe anyone else after my minors, to get one big monster hitter. I mean, if Cam ever got off his ass and made a decision about trading me Ty Cobb, that would have been perfect. But we'll see what happens. Either way, thanks for listening. If anyone actually made it through this, I'd like if you actually made it through this, put a comment down on the board, so I know some people actually end up reading this or watching this, whatever it is. Thanks, and go Orioles.